Thank you for joining us at XM.com. In this preview video, we'll be looking at the Bank of England. It meets on Thursday, and another rate hike is anticipated as inflation across the United Kingdom remains stubbornly high. I'm Christina Marujos. With me today is investment analyst Achilleas Georgolopoulos. Achilleas, markets are expecting a 25 basis points hike on Thursday. However, given the latest economic data, could policymakers opt for a bigger 50 basis points move?
Good morning, Christina. Thank you for the question. Yes, firstly, we have to start with the fact that the UK has remained away essentially from the spotlight for a few weeks now. Developments elsewhere, US banks, euro area developments, even the Chinese reopening will be getting lots of airtime. So now it's time for the market to focus on the Bank of England. The BoE holds its third meeting for 2023 on Thursday, where they are expected to hike by 25 basis points. A total of 65 basis points is priced in by the market until the November meeting. Now, the UK faces severe inflation. It's the only developed country that currently has double-digit inflation. The March print came at 10.1 compared to 6.5 seen in the euro area and the US. So they have a severe problem in terms of inflation. Now, they seem not to have grasped up to now the situation, as the Bank of England has been kind of copying the strategy by the other central banks. So they've been doing their 25 and then 50 rate hike, 50 basis points rate hikes. So they haven't gone ahead of the other central banks, which face inflation pressures or receding inflation pressures. The problem the Bank of England has is that they care a lot about the housing sector. In the UK, houses are very, they are very good part or a great part of household wealth. So with higher inflation, there is a hit on the housing prices. Therefore, the Bank of England is very conscientious about raising very aggressively and essentially hitting the household wealth. On the other side, though, they do have a problem with inflation. So they have to balance out whether they're going to continue hiking or they're going to go more aggressively. In our book, the 25 basis points seems to be baked. So essentially, they will announce it. Can they do 50? It's an interesting situation where from one side, as I say, we have the housing. From the other side, we have the inflation, and we have lots of reports about the everyday person getting a serious hit on their finances because of the higher prices they see on the shelves. So they have to essentially identify whether there are pros and cons of such a move and then essentially go for it. The problem is that the Bank of England is not really that aggressive compared to other central banks. So on Thursday, we expect the 25 basis points rate hike to be announced, and then the remaining of publications and statements, the press conference by the governor and the rest of the members to be, again, a bit more dovish than the market expect. And just to conclude, also on Thursday, we get the policy statement. It's the former quarterly inflation report where the Bank of England has its own inflation projections for the next 3 years. There is a table there where they're going to essentially forecast inflation, and the number that the year that everyone will be looking for is 2024. The February projection was 3%, so it would be interesting whether that goes up aggressively.
I see. Now let's turn to the market reaction. What should pound traders expect from sterling this week?
Yes, the past 2 months has been a bit interesting for the euro-pound pair. There was a February high of 0.8978, which kind of energized the pound bull. Since then, we've been seeing a move lower, not very aggressive, but a move lower, and we have seen lower highs, which is important from a technical perspective. However, up to now, every attempt from the pound bulls to have a sustainable drop has stopped at the 0.87 area. Lately, and to be exact today, we've seen a small drop below that area, but it's clear that they need a good excuse. The pound bulls need something significant like a more aggressive BoE hike to continue and push that pair much lower. If we get a 50 basis points rate hike or we get a 25 25 base points rate hike and hawkish commentary, then the euro pound pair could move, or there will be pressure for it to move towards the 0.8550 area and essentially test the December 2022 lows. On the other hand, if we get 25 basis points, dovish rhetoric, so essentially not really a market moving event, then that could essentially diffuse any confidence that the pound bulls have, and then we could see the pair, the euro pound pair, moving towards the 0.88 area.
Achilles, thanks so much. This was a preview video on the Bank of England. It meets on Thursday. Thanks for watching at xtime.com.